Good damn morning, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again, and I have to pose a question. Just one. What happened to the no two-term Trump team? By that I mean Russia, impeachment, the existential threat of global warming put in the form of a 16-year-old named Greta Fugen. What happened to them? Because according to the left and Democrats, each one of those, when it was happening, was either we get this right or we're all dead. Remember? Russia was the end of our democracy. It was a threat to America. It was the death of America, which is what they wanted. So why are they acting like they didn't? Then, when it was impeachment, we have to get Trump out of office. He's going to destroy America. And then when you had that poor little teenager exploited by her parents and others, remember? Arnold's letting her drive his bubble-powered car and all this stupid shit. She was the media darling, if you will. But if we didn't listen to this child, we were gonna die, the world was gonna boil, or some stupid shit. What happened? Now it's the sweet and sour sniffles. But how do you move on from something like that? These were threats to our democracy. Remember? These are threats to our lives. The end of the world and the end of America. So you don't hear anybody talking shit about that anymore. It's all about we gotta beat Trump and the sweet and sour sniffles, the COVID-19. Where are the other 18 COVIDs? So what the fuck happened? They're telling us in 10 years, we gotta do something or Earth is going to be destroyed. It will be no more. We're all gonna die. The sky is falling, remember? Fast forward a few months, they don't even mention it. Russia's gonna take us down. They stole our election. You know how important our elections are? And they were overtaken by some second-rate country with $10 million. That's all they spent on that. And they took us down? They stole the most important, the number one election in our country? What happened to the focus on that? With global warming, climate change, wrong decade. They change the name like every 10 years. But with that, with climate change, nothing else matters. The sweet and sour sniffles, impeachment, Russia, none of that matters because the planet is going to die. What's more important than our home? But that's why we know they're not fucking serious. Because as soon as that wasn't hot anymore, no pun intended, as soon as climate change wasn't a hot topic anymore, they moved on to something else, which lets us know that they were full of shit in the first place. You haven't heard a damn peep out of that Greta Fugen. No FaceTimes, no nothing. She's not up behind the podium telling us how bad you world leaders are. How dare you? Remember that shit? What happened? The reason they moved on from that is because they failed. These are all ways to stop Trump, aka us. Those are all ways that they had to fuck shit up for us. And since they failed, they're on to the next one. What's going to be after this? I'm sure they have it all lined up. I'm sure it's on deck. But as of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months ago, before the sweet and sour sniffles, these things were going to destroy us all. I guess they got them figured out. They're not going to destroy us anymore because they're not talking about them. It's all bullshit. Remember, existential threat. That means it's a threat to our existence. So if we're not even on the planet, then none of that other shit matters, right? We gotta save the planet. Man, they don't give a shit about the planet. All those same people telling you how horrible you are because you don't separate your aluminum from plastic are flying around the world putting out more emissions in one flight than the average Joe Schmo stupid 9-to-5 taxpayer generates in a year. Get the fuck out of here. Now on to some more stupid shit, but maybe this will have a happier ending. So on Saturday, these two LA County sheriffs were parked at a metro station. And some piece of shit, who I'm sure they're gonna catch because he was probably put up to it. It could have been a gang thing. So they're gonna find him because he's gonna talk. Either the people who sent them know about it already, or they're gonna start running their fucking mouth, or they've gotten on their social media and told every damn thing and put the case in a nice, neat little package for the police. But this little bastard, this little piece of shit, the next person who should be executed, ran up on these two cops. One was 31, the female, and the other one was 24. Ran up on the car, there's footage, I'll put a link in the description box. Ran up on the car, came up from behind, ran up on the car, and shot, they just said several shots inside the vehicle. Now, from what I read in the article, I can't remember whether it was both cops or one, but I believe they were both struck in the head. They're both at the hospital fighting for their damn lives. Why? Because they made the stupid mistake of trying to protect people? This killing cops and defund police, this shit has been out of control. I think there's a $100,000 reward for this fucking piece of shit. And they'll find him. They got too many resources behind this. They'll find that motherfucker. It happened in Compton. I say, look, you guys want the police defunded? Pull the fucking cops back, all of them. Pull them all back. Give them ticket pads. They can do parking tickets. Pull every fucking cop off duty and see what happens. And the very people you claim to want to help, remember this brutalized group of people, the people of color, the one that the cops are just hopping out and fucking up at a moment's notice? Those very people are going to be hurt worse and first. Just like illegal immigration. The coloreds are hurt worse and first. And then to put a cherry on top of this fucked up Sunday, people showed up to the hospital. Protesters. That's what they call them. We need to change that word. These aren't protesters. Protesters don't stand outside the hospital of people who are dying and yell, "We hope they die." That's not a protest. Protests are for good, for positivity, for positive change. That's what a protest is for. Not to chant hateful shit at people. That's not a protest. Burning, looting, and smashing is not a protest. That's a riot. But whatever these motherfuckers were doing outside of the police, where those cops were in there dying, is not a protest. See, it's the language. They attack the language. They change the language first. Because if what you say isn't bad, then what they're doing isn't bad. They're just protesting. You can't get mad at a protest. That's because it's not a protest. These people are fucking animals. How are you going to sit there and yell? Unless these cops harmed or killed somebody you know and love, you should not be outside of the hospital where they're dying saying, "We hope they die." How fucked up is that? And you know what's going to happen? If that crowd gets out of control, guess who's going to come down there and treat them with respect? The fucking cops. I mean, I don't have any run-in with cops, so I wouldn't give a shit if the police came out there with batons and tasers and went nuts. I don't care. Something needs to happen. Order needs to be restored. And when you got people running up on cops and blasting them in their cars, that means there's a problem in that city. That means that mayor needs to quit fucking around. That mayor needs to take BLM's dick out of his mouth and butt and get to work. You need to back the police, the very police that stand there and protect your bitch ass when you go out in public. You need to start supporting these police and change the fucking narrative back to what it was. Because they serve and protect. Are there bad ones? Yes. Why the fuck do people need to keep saying that? Does anybody run around saying, hey, remember guys, puppies are cute. Hey, puppies are cute. You over there, puppies are cute. Nobody has to say that shit because we know. But Mayor Garcetti of Los Angeles is a giant, organic, free-range piece of shit with corn and peanuts. You fostered the mindset that allows this to fucking happen because people who are like that, who are going to do this, are saying, I'm not going to get in trouble. Nobody cares. It's open season. The same bullshit that all you overpaid, out of touch, fucking elitist athletes say, we're being hunted. That's what's happening to these police. When's the last time you saw a cop run up on a car with two colored people in it and start shooting? It doesn't happen. But the mayor of LA is too busy turning off people's lights and water because they got more than 10 people together, unless it's a BLM protest or a riot. Then you can get as many people together as you want. But if you're trying to do some good and be positive, we cap it at 10. After that, we shut off your lights and water. I'm not kidding. It was 120 fucking degrees in Los Angeles last weekend, and that motherfucker's cutting off people's water and lights. Yeah. What has the mayor said about this shit? What is the mayor gonna do? Nothing. He's gonna get on all fours. He's gonna grab that tube of KY, oil himself up, and continue to get fucked by BLM in all of his orifices. And if he can get enough of them together at the same time, he'll do them at the same time. Need to call him Mayor Bukkake. Because that's what BLM does to that fucking punk every day. Fuck you, San Angelinos, or Los Angelinos, or whatever the fuck. They don't care about you. He's allowing rioters to riot, but you can't go to church. If you get more than 10 people together, he's gonna cut off your fucking electricity. Man, what the hell? Is he an evil landlord or a mayor? But condolences, shout-outs, prayers, all that stuff to the families of those cops and to those cops themselves. If and when they catch this fucking scumbag, I'll do an update on that. This shit is crazy. Trump needs to send in the federal troops because local and state authorities don't know what the fuck they are doing. So when the kids don't know what to do, what happens? The adults have to come into the room and set shit straight. Fucking terrible, man. But it is my weekend. I am headed to the range. That's right. The Lords of California have allowed us to bust caps outside. So I'm going to go ping, ping. They got the metal targets out here. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit liberal cries. Get your Jericho Green notification tone link in the description box. Utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.